Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll recap a 1997 American fantasy horror film named Wishmaster. An ancient hidden opal is found by a gemologist named Alexandra. Unknowingly, she releases an evil jinn from within, who wishes to take over the world but is restricted until his owner makes 3 wishes. Kindly remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Before we start, how many of you have seen this statue before? Comment down the name of the statue and in which movie have you seen it. A narrator explains that when God breathed life into the universe, the light gave birth to angels, the earth gave birth to man, and the fire gave birth to the jinn, creatures condemned to dwell in the void between the worlds. If a person wakes a jinn, they will receive 3 wishes, but the 3rd wish will free legions of jinn on earth. The movie begins in 1127 AD in Persia. The jinn asks the Persian emperor to make his 2nd wish. When the emperor wishes to see wonders, the jinn uses his powers to torture and mutilate people in the palace. The emperor is horrified, but the jinn tells him to use his 3rd wish to set things right. Before the emperor can make his 3rd wish, Zoroaster, the sorcerer, explains the consequences of the 3rd wish and reveals a fire opal, which pulls the jinn inside and traps him. In present-day America, Raymond Beaumont supervises workers lowering a box containing an antique statue of pre-Islamic god Ahura Mazda onto a ship. The crane operator Mickey Torley is drunk and drops the box, killing Beaumont's assistant Ed Finley and destroying the statue. The dock worker finds the fire opal that he keeps with him. Next, the owner of a pawn shop reaches Regal Auctioneers, where he shows them the fire opal that the dock worker sold him. A man named Nick sees that opal and asks the appraiser named Alexandra to examine it. She is quite surprised to see this opal, and Nick leaves from there asking her to make its report. Now when she is checking the opal, the jinn wakes up. She sees something inside it and tells Nick that maybe something is wrong with it. She will have to talk to a friend of hers and run some more tests on it. She then shows Josh the opal that says he is busy now and will do some infrared tests on it later. Now later, when Josh is collecting opal's data, the gem explodes, destroying the lab and releasing the jinn. Now when Josh is lying injured there, he sees a jinn who starts coming towards him. Jinn tells him that he can ease his suffering and all he has to do is ask. Now as soon as he says yes, the jinn grants his wish and kills him. Then we see the jinn being transformed, after which he takes that opal from there. Now Alex comes to the place where she meets Detective Nathan. She tells him that Josh was her best friend. Nathan tells her that there may have been an equipment malfunction. After this, we see a beggar who is having an argument with a shopkeeper. The beggar murmurs and leaves, wishing the shopkeeper to die. Only then does he find that jinn. He asks him if he really means those curses. He asks him what would he do to have them come true. The beggar thinks he is joking and tells him that the shopkeeper may get cancer and die. The jinn grants his wish and that shopkeeper dies very badly. Now seeing this, the beggar gets very scared and runs away from there. Here Alex is very upset by Josh's death and she is blaming herself and that opal for it. Her sister Shannon tells her not to blame herself for this, but Alex now wanted to know the secret behind that gem. The next day she asks the dock worker about the stone, who tells her that he got it from that statue. Then she meets Beaumont and asks him about the statue. Beaumont tells her about the statue and takes her to a room where many statues were kept. He tells her that though Azura was the god of good, he himself was the source of evil. He then asks her to meet Wendy Drilleth, a folklore professor. On the other hand, we see the jinn who is removing the skin from the face of a corpse. Then a student comes there and jinn asks him if he didn't want to see all this, and as he says yes to him, he seals his eyes. Then he takes out the man's face and puts it on himself. And here Alex sees a vision that frightens her a lot. Alex then joins Wendy, who explains the history of the gem and the nature of the jinn. A jinn grant wishes in exchange for souls, but as jinns are demonic in nature, the wishes will be twisted into curses for the jinn's amusement. Here Jinn had taken human form and he meets a sales clerk named Ariella and tells his name as Nathaniel Demarest. He entraps Ariella in his words and asks her to wish to be beautiful forever. Now as Ariella makes this wish, Jinn grants her wish and leaves, and we see that Ariella has become a mannequin. The jinn then meets Detective Nathanson and asks for Alex's address. Nathanson refuses to help him, but he tells him that he wishes to easily prove a criminal's guilt. Jinn fulfills his wish by having the criminal go on a shooting spree inside the police precinct, and in the chaos finds Alex's home address. Then the criminal becomes violent and tears the face of an officer, and seeing this, Nathanson shoots him. Here Alex reads about the gem and the jinn. where she comes to know that with the help of that stone, Jinn can come to this world, but he must first charge the stone by gathering human souls who have had a single wish granted. He must then activate it by finding the human who woke him and granting him 3 wishes. Here the Jinn reaches Regal Auctioneers in search of Alex, where a guard tries to stop him. The guard tells him that if he wants to go inside, he has to go through him. Now hearing this, Jinn fuses him into stained glass and goes through him, eventually killing the guard. Inside he meets Nick and asks him about Alex's address. Nick refuses to tell him anything, on which the Jinn asks him to ask for anything in return for the information. Nick facetiously agrees to help in exchange for $1 million, which he receives when his mother takes out a life insurance policy and is killed the next day in a plane crash. Here Alex sees troubling visions of every person the Jinn had granted wishes. She consults Derleth again, but soon realizes that she is talking to the Jinn, who has killed Derleth and taken her form. The Jinn confronts Alex and offers her 3 wishes. In the spirit of fair play, he offers her a free wish, just to see what will happen. She wishes for him to shoot himself, but he is immortal and the gunshot fails to harm him. Using the first of her 3 official wishes, Alex wishes to know what he is. The Jinn teleports her to his hellish world within the gem, which terrifies her as he boasts his evil to her. She tries to run away from there and Jinn tells her that he is going to her sister at her apartment. She then wishes herself to escape back to her apartment, without him. Now she comes back to her house where she finds Shannon's note that she has gone to Bowman's party. Then the phone rings and the Jinn says that wherever she goes, he will find her. Now she immediately comes to the party where the Jinn also follows her. Alex tells doorman Johnny Valentine to hold the Jinn, as he is trying to kill her. However, the Jinn manipulates Valentine into making a wish to escape his routine life, allowing the Jinn to trap Valentine in a Chinese water torture cell. Making his way into the party, here Alex finds Shannon and tries to get her out of the party. But Shannon refuses to leave and Alex sees that Jinn is talking to Beaumont. The Jinn charms Beaumont, who wishes his party would be unforgettable. The Jinn grants his wish and a lady's body gets transformed into glass and blasts, injuring and killing many guests. A guy's head is severed by the strings of a piano. Beaumont gets scared seeing the real form of the Jinn and tries to run away. Here Jinn finds Alex and tells her that she can save these people by just wishing away. But Alex refuses to do so and starts running away. Then she finds Beaumont, who vomits a strange creature. That creature grabs Alex's leg, but Alex frees herself and runs away from there. Then the security guards come there and we see that the statue standing there comes alive, and they all attack the guards and kill them. Meanwhile, Alex runs away from there and starts looking for Shannon, and then Jinn also comes there. He asks her to make the wish, but Alex again refuses. Now Jinn shows her a painting in which he has trapped Shannon, and then he sets that painting on fire. Alex wishes that Torley had not been drunk at work 2 days ago, which the Jinn is forced to grant. But this undoes the events that followed the destruction of the statue and trap the Jinn in the fire opal again. The now sober Torley lowers the crate with no problems. Alex visits Josh, now alive again, who notices that Alex seems pleased with herself, though she does not explain why. Inside the jewel on the statue of Ahura Mazda, now in Beaumont's private collection, the Jinn sits on a throne, waiting to be released. Thanks for watching.